Hey, what is going on there, YouTube? This is Gamer365 and
Welcome to One Man Army.
So yeah, I probably won't use that ever again, I promise, that intro or that audio clip, but it was made by watching a 3-minute tutorial in Audacity. And if something didn't show up, then I'm just going to look like a tit. So, you're probably wondering, what is One Man Army? Well, there should be a leaderboard up on the screen right now. I'll be in the top right, and it will show you the One Man Army ranks leaderboard. So what happens is, I play 3 games with a single player. This episode is going to be Suárez. Now, I was going to do this where I put the player and I put them surrounded by bronze players, and we see how they do, whether they can literally pull a team through to a win. But then I figured out after trying one game is that I had a 70 rated squad and I came up against an 85 rated squad, so yeah, the matchmaking just didn't help. A 64 rated winger is not going to be able to compete with an 85 rated winger, so you know, it just doesn't work. So what we do is we play 3 games, or I'm going to play 3 games with the player, or I've played 3 games, and I take the wins, the loss, and the draw, and then the goals and assists. I do this with 8 players overall, which will go over like FIFA pretty much, and you'll decide at the end the next player for the series, or for the next episode. What I basically do is show you their goals, their shots, or how good they are, and I'll just describe to you what kind of player they are, and whether they'll actually be able to make an impact on your team or not. Then at the end you'll vote, or you'll comment down below, out of 3 players that I'll leave you, who I will do next episode on. Without further ado, we're going to get into the first player, and yeah, let's begin. So, Suárez, this is the player that we are using for this episode. First owner as well. I've already played 4 games and have 5 goals with him, and yes, I did pack him. So we're going to go into the clips of him, and I do have to say, he was above average, but he was an average player. Now I'm going to show the clips in the 3 games that I've played. I'm not going to split them up or anything to make it look fancy. I'm just going to put it as it is, because I don't want to have it show like he was an insane or incredible player. He was decent, but he wasn't standout amazing. And I do have to say, his acceleration and strength, or physical together, made him an absolute tank when running through or towards defenders. He was able to pace past them, dribble past them, and in most cases outstrength most of them. Skills weren't really his strong point, because it didn't suit him. Like, you do a rainbow flick and it just wouldn't really suit him overall. But saying that, getting up for headers or going in for long shots, or I'd say 25 yards, 30 yards maybe shots, the ball would just soar into the back of the net. There would be no chance of the goalkeeper stopping it in like any scenario. The main thing about him was that when he accelerated, if you're going to take a shot, as soon as he was at that peak of acceleration, it would just go straight into the back of the net. Also, a stop-start sort of shot like this one that's coming up right now would just fly in, to be honest. You know, his outside the box or just outside the box shots were the best part about him. Saying that though, he did also get knocked off the ball a lot of the time, which was his downside. So overall, out of the 3 games, we won 2 games, we lost 1, and yeah, it's going to say here 7-9. So before we get into the leaderboard at the end, there are 3 players, A, B or C. A for today is going to be Akinfenwa, so comment A down below if you'd like me to use him. B is Romelu Lukaku, and finally C is going to be Origi. And yeah, now we're going to get into the leaderboard so you can see where he is. Now, as I progress through this series as well, I'm going to move players up and down the leaderboard. So number 1 might be Suárez today, but next week or whenever I do the next episode, he could be number 2, or yeah, and so on and so forth pretty much. So overall, I'm not going to rate him, I'm not going to rate these players, but I would say if you can afford him, I would get him, because he does really progress the side as his shooting. He just makes the goalkeeper aware constantly, or he makes the goalkeeper have to work harder pretty much. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below, comment which player you want me to use, and maybe subscribe if you'd like to. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Peace.